good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending upon where you are around the world. I am Marcus Holmes, the HR Passion Guy, and we're excited to have you here with us. We're emanating today from LinkedIn Live, but via restream on Facebook Live on the Love and Stuff community page, as well as the Marcus R. Holmes page. We're also on the HR Passion Guy pages on Twitch TV and YouTube events, and we have an exciting show for you today. I don't know about you, but I love a good book. Drop in the comments on these platforms. I see Dana Hodges has joined us. Tammy Williams has joined us. Who else is on this? Daisy Simmons has joined us. Click share and tag 5 of your closest folks. I'm looking for my folks on LinkedIn. You know, you have to drop your name in the comments on LinkedIn or I will not be able to shout you out. 5 of your closest connections or Facebook followers or friends on YouTube or subscribers, 5 of your more popular to join us in a discussion. So if you love a good book, I believe everybody should love a good book, but I know that there are people that don't read and maybe don't get the chance to read as often as you should. I knew a wise old Southern gentleman who said, open a book, you open the world. And I believe that he is so correct that if you open a book, you open your world to the possibilities of things that you have never seen or experienced before. You open your vocabulary, you open your mind, your critical thinking, your imagination, your creativity, your ability to innovate and collaborate. Read a book. So if you have a good book that you've read, I've got one that you want to add to your shelf. We have someone who is living in the center of her passion on purpose, and she is a new author, and we're excited. Courtney Hodges is here on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for joining us. Tammy Williams says, I love to read. I love it. I love it. And so click share and tag someone else who loves to read or who might love to read or need to love to read. Because if you open a book, you open your world. You open yourself to new possibilities. And so we have with us a fantastic new author that I'm getting ready to introduce. So I want you to click share and tag folks to join because I want you today, our call to action today is to open a book, to open your world. Now, me, I like different types of books. If you're like me, you might like self-help books. You might like books that are going to show you something about leadership, but I also like a good whodunit. I love a mystery book. I love a James Patterson book, and now I love an Erin Hodges book. So welcome to our platform, brand new author, Erin Hodges. Welcome, Erin.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I am so excited that you are here, and congratulations on your book.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I want you to tell us a little bit about Erin Hodges and how you got on this journey and path to writing. Can you tell us a little bit about you? Where are you from? When did you start writing? Tell us a little bit about it.
I'm from Detroit. I've been writing for as long as I can remember. Always loved to read, so I've always been writing. So I can't put a time frame on it. I just know I've loved to write. Anytime we had an
Okay.
assignment in class to write, I was writing. So um,
And I'm gonna jump in and say, Erin, I won't ask you your age, but would you say you've been writing for 20 years, 30 years, 10 years?
I would say over 20
Okay,
years.
over 20 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some would say 20 years could be a long time, but you've been writing different things over these 20 years. What led you down this pathway? Tell us a little bit about your education.
Well, I have a degree from Eastern Education,
Mm,
which was fueled by my love of writing. I always loved journalism, broadcast, things like that.
mhm,
As far as writing, I've always wanted to be an author. Like anybody that knows me, especially my sisters or my family, that's been my dream to be an author. So
mhm.
I finally took the plunge and pushed the book out late last year. So
I love it. You know, I'm a new author too, and so I want to ask you about writing in the pandemic, how that may have shaped your desire to write, because you're saying you've been writing a long time. So have you've written short stories? Tell us a little bit more. You've written as a technical writer and as a trade, so you're not just like me, somebody who picked up the pen and said, "I got something to say." You really have been following this path that education has led you to technical writing. So I wanted to drop
yes,
that in there because you're a writer's writer in the sense that you write before being an author, you were writing technical for a living. So in this pandemic, did you say, oh, it's time for me to get this book out? What got you to this book in this season?
Well, the book, my friend gonna hurt me. Tammy, she doesn't like this, but the book has been written for a long time. I just
Ah,
pushed it out. It's been written, like
ah,
typed up, ready to go for a
ah,
long time. So,
wow.
so the pandemic is what motivated me. Like, you know what are you waiting for? Go ahead, push the book out, and just let it go.
Erin, I think that's an important fact for the viewers to hear. You're saying your book was finished for quite some time. I won't force you to tell us years or anything, but your book was done for quite some time and the pandemic pushed you. What would you say to other people that are sitting on their passion? I'll use that word. They're sitting on their passion and they're not putting the book out. They have some product or some service or something. What would you say to them about getting it to market, getting it in the hands of people?
Do your research. Don't overwhelm yourself, and just do it. Like once you find your research, do the research and find the right people to help you. Do it, and then make
Okay.
sure you have a good and just do it.
Okay. Support group, that's important. Now, did you self-publish? Are you an indie author or did you sign with a publishing company?
I signed with a publishing company.
Okay.
Um, it's a local here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that process? Is it did you have to get a publicist, an attorney? Is it a contract? Did they give you an advance or they just tell me tell us about the process?
Well, the process basically, it's a person I've been following for a long time. She does a lot of conferences. I won't say she's well known, but I've been following her. I put it.
Mhm.
I reached out to her, say, "Hey, are you taking new clients?" She was like, "Yes." Um, we talked, discussed the cost and all that stuff. She contract. I read it over, sent it back to her, and we started the process. That's really how it was.
Wonderful. And I'm going to go to the comments. We're talking to Erin Hodges, brand new author, and we're going to get into her book, which I read yesterday, Erin, and I want
Sure.
more. I love it. But I love a whodunit. So you
Okay.
have me at whodunit, right? I love that.
Okay.
Tammy, who is a great friend of yours, will tell you I like whodunit even in TV. I like um, trying to guess who is the the villain and things like that. So I think it was wonderfully done. Marilyn Hamilton
Thank
has
you.
joined us. Danielle Scott has joined us. We're getting congratulations and comments, and we're going to talk. Let's see, Dominique Udegbonum. I'll tell you, Dominique, how I know how to pronounce the name. You'll have to inbox me, but I do know how to pronounce it. I think I know some of your people. Nicole Baldwin has joined us. Nisha has joined us. Of course, Tammy Williams is with us. All of you that are here, click, share, and tag someone because we want people to be able to purchase her book today. And Passion, HR Passion LLC is going to give away a couple copies if you stick around. We're going to make sure you have some understand the factoids, and then we're going to purchase a book for you because we want you to open a book and open your world. And I love it. They're saying, where can we find it? And I'll make sure we drop the link in the comments before the end. But where can they find your book?
Right now, it's on Amazon. It's an ebook right now. You can search for Erin R. Hodges on Amazon. Paperback will be coming soon, hopefully by the end of this month.
Okay.
It's available on ebook on Amazon.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I that's where I went and one click I had the book and I read it and I enjoyed it. It is like mine. It's a shorter read, but I love a short read because that means I can go back and revisit the clues that maybe I missed because I love who done it. So if you like a who done it, this is a good who done it book. Um, when does the hard copy come out? Somebody's asking, and I think you just answered that. It'll be coming out soon. So we'll make sure you have connection information to
Yes.
stay connected to Erin, and we'll get links so that we can post them on the Love and Stuff page and on our pages across platforms so that you can come back and get the book. But Courtney, you might get a chance to win one if you hang around. So you got to stick around for that. And so tell us the title of the book and why you chose the genre that you chose, because you're saying you wrote this a while ago but it still reads fresh and good. So tell us what made you choose this genre. Is there anything in this book that is Aaron-ish, Aaron-esque, something in this book? Tell us about it. Oh, I think you
I'm
froze.
sorry, you break some.
Oh, okay. I was saying what made you choose this genre of writing? Is there something about this genre that resonated with you? I won't get too much into the characters, but I want to know, is there some Tina in Erin? Is there some Brenda in Erin? Is there some Gigi in Erin? How did you come up with these characters?
Well, I've always liked a good mystery. Like coming up, I would watch stuff like Dateline, um, Murder She Wrote, things like that. So I always like a good mystery.
Murder, She Wrote. Love it. Yeah.
The characters, I think, it's like different people I've come across in life, or different tidbits or from different
Mhm,
people. So I think all my characters pull from different people I've come across in life. I don't
mhm.
know who I'm more like. I don't know. Maybe Gigi,
Okay.
maybe,
Okay.
but
Maybe Gigi. Okay. And
yeah. But I just
Gigi is the main character for those that, of course, haven't read the book, but you got to get it. I can't tell you a lot about Gigi, but I will tell you that Gigi uh, has a big heart and maybe not as big eyes. There are things that maybe she can see in her friends or those around her that maybe aren't as apparent because she has such a big heart. And so that's part of the read that I get from the character that's Gigi Geraldine Brentwood. I get that from the character. What else could you tell us about that main character without giving too much away?
let's see what else I can tell you about. She learns a lot about herself. She learns a lot about
Mhm,
herself, who she can and
mhm,
can't. And I think it's a big
mhm,
eye opener for her. I'll put it that way.
mhm. Yeah, what I love, and I think is universal, of course, the Love and Stuff community will love this. Love is universal, right? We are all seeking to have love, to be loved, to love, right? And so I think in that character, everybody can relate to wanting to see the best in people, wanting to think the best of people, wanting to receive the best of people for what you're given. And not everybody, for various reasons, are in a position to reciprocate the kind of love that you're expecting. And so that part of the theme resonates with me. And I think it will resonate with anyone who reads the book because I think there isn't a person in the universe that doesn't want to be loved and affirmed.
That's true.
And I think
That's
you find that in this
true.
character that she has a journey around that awakening of wanting to be loved in the way in which she loves. And the reality is, we aren't often loved the way that we love other people. And
That's true.
so it brings us to different places and junctures and choices. We're talking with Erin Hodges, brand new author. And Erin, tell me, say the name of the book. I wanted you to be the one to tell us what is the name of your book?
The Casanova Killer.
The Cassanova Killer. And I'm gonna see if I can just bring up the cover as an overlay here so people can see the cover. Of course, you may stick around. If you stick around with me and Erin, you may get a chance to win a copy of this book. Here's a quick overlay of it. The Casanova Killer is this is the cover with Erin R. Hodges, brand new author. Congratulations. Robert Douglas has joined us. Thank you so much. Nancy Capers has joined us. Thank you. I hope you will click share and tag someone to join us in the discussion with Erin Hodges, brand new author. And I just put up her book that is available on Amazon. Someone is asking, is there a part two or second book coming? Thank you, Dominique. You're going to have to help me co-host because you got all my questions. Somebody gave you my questions. Okay.
I
Before we get
don't know.
before we get to that, before we get, because I want to talk a little bit more about the book.
Okay.
There's another character in the book that um, I, again, I don't want to give too much away, but there is a male character in the book, and this male character um, has kind of this. He has kind of this thinking that you don't tell women the truth; you tell them what they want to hear. And that resonated with me because a lot of men, brothers, I'm going to say brothers in the African American diaspora anyway, a lot of times that's where we go wrong. We
Mhm.
tell you what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear. But oftentimes our actions are telling you what you need to hear and they're not aligning with what we're saying. And so that dichotomy there, women don't always give full value to when I think that they should give full
That's
value
true.
to it. So I love
That's true.
this character. Tell us a little bit about one of the male characters.
Well, the male characters are kind of supporting characters, but they help prepare journey.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Allow them grow, learn as both male and female tend to do as they get older.
Mm-hmm.
I think you speak of, he finally learned, hey, let me be truthful. So
Mm-hmm.
in that moment, he decided to be truthful.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes the truth hurts, but I think it's always best to be truthful and give that person an
Yeah.
opportunity to choose if they want to still take that path or that journey with you.
Yes. And help me remember, are we talking about Micah or Derek? I can't remember if we're talking about Micah or Derek.
Micah, we're talking about Micah who decided to tell the truth.
Yes, Micah decided to be the good guy who tells the truth. And
Yeah,
sometimes when you tell the truth, it doesn't go well.
it does. That's true,
It
but
doesn't
that's
go
a
well.
chance you have to take.
It's the chance of love. And what you have to
Yeah,
do, I believe, is tell the truth in the beginning. And then people are used to you telling the truth. But sometimes when you're leading people along a path and you're not telling the truth, and then you tell the truth, it's too stark a reality for them. And so I did that. I may have given away a little too much, but I think it's interesting in this who done it because I love the way you laid it out with the characters, and as you say, the supporting characters are all men, and it really is all about how men and women interact in relationships. I think even
yeah,
relationships that have been over for a very long time, which I think is an interesting aspect. We often harbor feelings from breakups that happened a very long time ago, and those we carry forward into our reality.
that's true.
There's also a stark comparison. We're talking to Erin Hodges. For those of you that are just joining here, Coleman Ward, thank you for joining. Click, share, and tag someone to join us. She's a brand new author of this wonderful book that I know you're going to get on Amazon if you don't get a chance to win one of them today. And of course, you will have to stick around to have gathered some factoids for us to purchase one on your behalf. The Cassanova Killer. It's available on ebook and Amazon and soon to come on paperback. And we have the author here, Erin Hodges. Before I ask you about the stark thing that stood out to me in the book as well, what do you read? What are some of the books that you like to read? Some of the kinds of books that you read?
I like fiction, um, romance, horror. Right now, I'm reading autobiography stuff. Like a lot of coming out with their autobiographies, and they've been kind of
Mhm,
interesting. So I've been reading that
mhm.
lately.
Okay.
Um, for the most part, that's what I read. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And may we ask which autobiography are you reading currently?
Right now, I'm reading Mariah Carey's autobiography.
Wow. Interesting.
Yes,
Interesting.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Are you a
It's.
big Mariah Carey fan?
I mean, I like her music, but when they were promoting
Mhm.
the book, it sounded interesting,
Okay.
and it is interesting that she talks about different things that happen publicly and the thought
Mhm.
process behind it. So it kind of gives a better
Mhm.
understanding of why she did what she did at certain times. That, but yeah, I like her
Mhm.
music, but I'm not like a huge fan. But the autobiography is interesting.
Got it. And Paydar Shohad has joined us from overseas. He is on YouTube events. So I hope you will click share and tag all of those folks overseas and tell them this is a read that they need to get. Now, I know with Amazon, you can have it translated in various languages. So I don't know if you have done that, but make sure you do. We have a few folks that are from as far away as India that might, want it translated in their language. You just never know. So make sure
Okay,
that you do that as
okay,
well. And those of
right.
you that are in LinkedIn, click share, click tag. Some great reading is coming your way a few clicks away with this wonderful book, The Casanova Killer by Erin Hodges, excuse me. I read James Patterson books a lot. And one thing that he does, I think, brilliantly, that I like that you do as well, there are these, um, I call them stark comparisons of characters. And so the main character, Gigi, in a way to me, has a stark comparison to one of her BFFs, Tina. And so I love the
Yeah,
way that you created this stark kind of comparison. They're kind of polar opposites in a lot of ways. And that continues to unfold throughout the journey of the story. Was that intentional? Did you learn that from some other writer? What writers maybe have you patterned yourself around that you gleaned some of these techniques?
I don't know. It was done on purpose because sometimes
Okay.
we befriend people that are the total opposite of us and say the
Hmm.
friendship can't work. But sometimes
Hmm.
we are attracted to not just in a relationship, like I said, in friendship.
Hmm.
I don't think I necessarily pattern myself behind a particular author. Um,
Hmm.
I try not to read other authors while I'm writing because that might seep into
Hmm.
my work. But I don't really
Hmm.
pattern myself behind him. I just write and whatever comes, comes.
Hmm. Okay. And so this came and you shelved it for some time
Yes.
and blew off the dust, as it were, and put it out. And now we're out here. Um, are there any things that you would have done differently along this writing journey for this book, The Casanova Killer?
Put it out a little sooner.
Mhm. And so what would you say then to authors who have written books and shelved them?
Get over your fear. Go ahead and put it out there. And who will like it. Who won't. But that's not who we focus on. We focus on those that will like it. So I just think just go for it.
Mhm. And so would you say it was your fear that kept you from that kept it on the shelf? What would you say
Yep.
is the main thing that kept you on this? Okay. So your
Yep.
fear. And so the pandemic alone pushed you out of fear into off the cliff.
If I'm still in fear a little bit, but I'm off the cliff now. So
Okay. Okay. And if I could just explore that a little bit, Erin, when you say you're still in fear, what's your fear now? Because the book is out. What's your fear now?
I guess people will people like it. I don't know. That's
Mm. Okay.
a
Okay.
big thing.
Okay. And I think you're right from what you said earlier. They will like it or they won't like it. Maybe they will or not. And you will migrate and attract more of the people that like it. I think it's a good work. I like it, but meager
Thank you.
me. But I like a whodunit, and maybe people who like a whodunit, and it to me has some edgy parts to it where I was reading, was like, oh, so it has some of that in it too. If you
Okay.
like that edgy part of it, um, I think if your fear is it good? I think that there are going to be enough people telling you it's good, but I think if Aaron believes it's good, you can roll off of that, right? You can roll
Yeah.
off the fact that you're not only a writer, you're a technical writer, and you know how to write clearly, and it's good. And maybe you won't judge that just by whether or not it's the number one bestseller, which is what we hope for you to have, or whether or not it gets you on Oprah, which we hope for it does, wherever you want to go with it. Maybe you start a book club. There are a couple of groups on Facebook that are pretty good clubs that will help to promote the book. But I think people love whodunits. And I say go after the James Pattersons of this world, though he's amassed quite a following. But there's still
Yeah.
room for other whodunits in the voice that you tell your story, which I think might be underrepresented. So I think that's an important voice to be heard. And I want to
Okay.
herald that voice so that people hear it. I think it's a great read. And I love it. Again,
Thank
I like a short read. Sometimes I like a longer read, but I like a short read because then I can, nestle up with it, read it, and then pass it on to somebody else and say, let's read now, what did you see in this? Because I like to have the discussions about the who done it to see if people got to where I got to in conclusions. Because there were some twists and turns where I was like, and that's what I like in a who done it. I don't like to be able to go right to the person. I like to be able to say, "Now wait, it could be, oh." And so there's an element of that surprise in there too. So, without giving too much away, you should get this book on Amazon. It's available now. It's an ebook and available right now. So, on to my co-host questions. Where is Courtney? I need to bring Courtney on because she is a good co-host. Will there be a follow-up to this? Because in my mind, I started writing after your epilogue, I started writing in my mind and saying, the next book could be this. So are you
Wow.
already thinking about another book in the series, or um because there are characters that, there is murder and mayhem, but there are characters who survive the murder and mayhem. So are you
Right.
thinking about some some follow up to it? What are you thinking?
I have not. I've gotten that question before. I have not, but I see where it can go. So I will not say. But when I wrote it, it kind of was okay, kind of your imagination. But I'm not. It's not off the table. It's not off the table.
Yeah, I would certainly encourage you to, think out on the table. Don't let too much dust accumulate this time if you decide to write it, because I think that there's a lot of places that you could go in the next, and who knows, Erin, you could be writing a series of these, and a person like Tyler Perry could come across it and want to buy it for a scripting. It's the
Hey,
kind of
don't.
stuff that I could see in a mini series. And so I thought,
Okay.
maybe she will have a sequel, a follow up, as Dana is saying. I got these great co-hosts. I got to bring them in. A
Okay.
follow up writing to that. What? So, um, yeah, give it some thought. I think it's great.
I
Lovely
will.
Shara says she wants a part two. I'm with her. Let's vote it
Okay.
up. Let's vote it up. All right. For someone who doesn't read as much, what would you say about um, sparking people's like and or love for reading?
I don't know, cause I mean, no, I don't know. Like either you're a reader or you're not. But I will
Mm,
say, if it's a good read, even non-readers would like to read it. So I don't know
yeah,
what could spark it, but some get something in the book that catches their interest. Really, so
yeah, yeah.
that's
I
the only
think
thing. Yeah.
I'm going to use this word earthy, and I don't mean earthy in a sense of nature. I mean earthy in a sense of commonality of man. So the themes in the book are not going to be foreign to anybody, because I believe
Mm,
pretty much any adult, and I think I would say more adults than teenagers would read
mm.
this, but
Yes.
any
Yes.
adult will see a situation in this book and say, oh, that was me. That was my friend. That could have been me. It's relatable, right? Maybe that's a better word. It's relatable. So even if you're not a traditional reader and you like me, you like whodunits and different kinds of books, you could pick it up and say, oh, I've seen this. I've seen a person like this, or this reminds me of all of those
Yep.
kinds of things come forward. And I think, that would be attractive to someone who maybe doesn't read as much. And the length will allow them, because it's about 105, 6 pages, right?
Yeah.
The length
Yes.
will allow them to say, I don't have to invest a lot of time, but really the time investment is in your curiosity around the characters and different things, and trying to use them as clues to figure it out, or investigating. Now, this character Gigi reminds me of me, not me specifically, but a person
Right.
reading it might say,
Right.
this person reminds me of, oh, this is something I'm big hearted like this, or I'm naive in some regard like this, or I don't tell the truth to women like this. So there are these aspects that could draw anybody in because it's relatable, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Courtney's asking, would you consider writing another novel or short story separate from Casanova Killer? Great question.
Yes. Actually, I am. Cause the second I was in process, I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Um, short stories though, yeah. So to answer her question, yes, those are in process, or yeah, they're in process.
Okay. All right. Um, and Dana Hodges says, I am not reading, but I did enjoy this book a lot. All right. So we want to make sure that you share it. Yes. Great questions. All great questions. You can keep dropping them in the comments. We're talking to Erin Hodges, who is a brand new author, The Casanova Killer. Great whodunit that you want to read, short read, available ebook today on Amazon. And so we want to have the opportunity for you to, in a moment, win a book. Courtney says, would a different genre interest you, such as romantic comedy? Okay, I don't know. We froze a little bit. Looks like we froze for a second. Okay, we'll give her a second to regroup. And
Breaking up,
oh,
Marcus.
yeah, your connection is breaking up. It's showing as the strength of your connection has dipped a little. Hmm.
Can you see me now? Am I breaking up now?
Now I can see you and hear you.
Okay. Because I'm looking at my thing and it says the internet is strong, so I don't know.
Okay. All right. Now I'm seeing you just perfectly. It on my end, it has your internet not as strong, but we'll keep rolling. Okay. So
Okay.
would you consider different genres such as romantic comedy?
I don't know about romantic comedies. I like to watch them, but I don't know if I can necessarily write them. I don't
Hmm.
know.
Hmm. Okay. Not necessarily. Okay. Very good. I'm trying to pull up your link real quick so that we can have it. So far as 5 stars. Fantastic.
Yes.
All right. I'm trying to go back to this page. See if Erin, can you send me your link? I think the link that I'm getting is where I purchased it. I don't want to give them that link.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I can drop it in the comments. All right.
Okay.
So you're thinking of the second novel has started. Do you have a projected date of when you plan to get it out? A target date? Is that part of your process, or you just kind of go? Has your process changed now that you have jumped out there? Are you going to say, I'm going to try to get it out by such and such a time? And of course, we want to see if we can get a little smidget tidbit.
Um, let's see. I don't have a time frame. The
Okay.
goal, this one just dropped, so I gotta, put it out there and market it, all that fun stuff. But I would say maybe mid-year. It's partially written now, so probably sometime this year I'll try, but don't hold me to
Okay.
that.
Well, I'm going to keep checking back with you because that's one of the things um, that I can share with you from and with our viewers. Some of them may already know my book I wrote during this last book, which book number 4 is the first to make it to market. So I got 3 other books that are unfinished. I'm not like you, they aren't on the shelf, but they're unfinished. And I kept
Okay.
starting, stopping. Stop writer's block. Forget it. I'm not a writer. Forget it. I'm not gonna write it. Put it on the shelf. Got into the pandemic. Someone asked me about the gratefulness journey every day because I was doing a lot of content on social media about it. And I said, let me put this in a book. And in the pandemic, wrote the book in the pandemic, published it, self
Mm.
published it in the pandemic. And I thought, wow, there is a whole series of gratefulness books that I could write about relationships and friendships and parents and children that I said, okay, I'm going to make myself a list. But I forgot I got these other 3 books that are in different genres.
Oh, okay.
So one of my books is it's 2 of the books are fiction books,
Hmm.
but they like you, I've gathered different elements of people and merged them together. And so when those books come out, people are like, "You is that me?" So I'm giving the disclaimer today. No, it's not you. I did what Erin did. It's an amalgamation of people
Yep. Yep.
um, for 2 books. And then the other book is a children's book. Really, it's a girl's book about colorism.
Oh,
One of
okay.
the members of the
Interesting.
Love and Stuff community experienced colorism, and she, like you, was on the fairer skin side, and she was
Hmm.
teased by
Hmm.
darker skinned girls when she was in elementary and middle school, and
Hmm.
that had a colossal impact on her. So I decided I was going to write a book around her story, and so I started that book. And so I've got these books in the hopper, and I didn't think that this book that I wrote that made it would be more of a series of books. So I'm like, I'm going to set myself a time frame because if I don't, those 3 will never get done,
That's true.
and and the series won't get worked on. So I'm going to challenge you to put yourself a date to it. And if that date comes and expires a month before that date, give yourself permission to change that date, but hold yourself accountable by having an accountability partner to say, where are you in this writing?
Okay. Now I
Because
did write.
your book is good, Erin, and
Thank
it's
you.
not because I'm a best-selling author. I'm not saying that. I'm just this is just me saying I read your book and I would buy the next one.
Thank you. Now I did write down a series of, not in a series, but I do have a bunch of books I want to put out, and I did write down like I want one a year. So that is my
Okay.
goal.
Okay.
I just
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I did do that.
Yeah. So at the end, by the end of this year, we should be looking for another book then, Erin.
Yeah, but I put it out there, so you all gonna hold me accountable. Yes.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to be your community of accountability because I think it is
Okay.
good. And I love, again, I love a whodunit. You may strike out in other genres, but seriously consider a follow up to this book. I think there is a lot of stretch and reach, and seriously consider, building a pitch deck for someone like a Tyler Perry or Ava DuVernay, though she is a writer as well. But you
Yeah,
know, we're seeing all kind of shows cropping up on these stations, and why not something that's based on one of your novels? So
it's true. All
yeah.
right, Marcus. I received
Tammy is
that.
saying, I'll hold you to it, Erin. I believe she will. The school
She
teacher will.
will.
She will be.
She
All
will.
right. So you mentioned various acknowledgments in your book. You want to talk about some of the people that may have been winds beneath your wings in writing this book and getting it out?
My parents, my mother, she encouraged me to enter writing contests. Like I said, I'm probably dating myself, but I used to
Mhm.
read the little book, We Wisdom. I dated
Mhm.
myself. So I used to submit stories and short poems to, I guess I've been published as a young child.
Yes, you were published as a young child. And
Yes.
tell us more about your mother and her influence on you.
My mother is let's see, she's a strong woman. She always encourages me as well as my sisters there. So, she always told us to put our best foot forward, and there's no such word. That was a big thing with her. There's no such word as can't. And to this day, I don't say. I might have said it earlier, but mostly we don't say can't. Like you can do anything you put your mind to. So she encouraged me along the way. And my sisters, they used to read my stories and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. I want to double back to your mom because I'm wondering, is a little bit of your mom and Gigi's mom in the book?
mm, I really didn't think about my mother when I wrote Gigi's mother. Maybe the caring part or the
Okay.
loving part, the supportive part.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
maybe that aspect of it.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't think about my mother
Okay.
consciously,
So
I'll
what
say.
so were there any specific muses, if you can tell us, for your writing? So when you were writing about Gigi's mother, you decided that her mother would be a part of the story. What was the inspiration or the maternal experiences that led you to this mother for Gigi?
Well, I felt like for Gigi's story, she needed that support. Like I feel like her being out there without that support would be hard.
Mhm.
So she needed that because
Mhm.
she went through a lot. So
Mhm.
she
Mhm.
needed that person to, have her back, let her know everything will be okay. You'll fight this, you'll get through this. So I think that was mostly the influence for me, just having that support system.
Got it. And do you think that that is true for you as well, having that kind of support system? Do you see yourself in that regard in Gigi?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So you all need to get the book. You need to get the book so that you can learn about Gigi and all of the things that she went through, because she did have quite a time in these 105 pages. She really had a journey. So that's great. Okay, who else was influenced? You said your mom, your sisters, some of who are here. I'm assuming Dana and Courtney.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Who else?
there's no one in particular that really influenced me as far as the character. Like I said, different people, different things I've heard, just all just came together, just came out of the book. So there's
Mhm,
not anybody in particular that
mhm,
influenced characters. So just a
mhm.
hodgepodge of
And
different people.
what about the people who influenced getting it off the shelf?
Well, let's see. Tammy was one of them.
Okay,
Our friend Murders was the second one. Like we
okay.
went out of town for my birthday and we were having conversations, and those conversations, they were like, Erin, just stop playing, do it. So
Mhm,
I would say that those conversations elevated me, and I still drug my
mhm,
feet a little bit, But like I said, when the
Mhm.
pandemic hit, I was like, okay, let's go ahead and do it.
Okay.
So yeah, and then different people too, like strangers. Sometimes
Mhm.
people have a better time talking to strangers. So I would
Yeah.
talk to strangers or we'll go to the dentist's office and we'll be talking. And they're like, well, go ahead and do it. So,
Mhm.
strangers and
Mhm.
different conferences I went to. So I was
Mhm.
working in the background to do it, like going to different reading events, writer events, author events. So I'd say that helped me
Mhm.
as well.
Okay. And can you name some of the events that you attended, just in case there are other authors who might want to attend similar types of events?
Well, the conference is called the Red Ink Conference, but she doesn't do it
Mhm.
anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but phenomenal. Like she would have different authors, um, big feedback, their journeys. I wish she would put it back on, but she said
Mhm.
she's on to something else. But that was the
Okay.
main conference that really got me going.
Okay. Is that something you think that you could pick up the ball and run with it and do major conference like that?
No, I mean
I
I'll put
was
it this
wondering,
way.
I was trying to see if I was going to catch you say I can't, but you're not going to say that. So you can't say I can't. So not something that you're really interested in necessarily doing,
That's
right?
a yeah, not that. No, it's not
Okay.
time.
All right. And tell us a little bit about your day work. Are you writing still, are you still doing technical writing?
Yeah, I still have my day job. I'm still a
Okay.
technical writer. I still do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. And how does that shape or influence at all, if it does, the writing that you do? Does it
it
give you a
doesn't.
method? Does it? It doesn't. Okay.
No, it's like two
You-
separate things.
Okay. Got it.
Like yeah, two types of writing. So technical is like I'm writing instructions for something. So that really doesn't
Mhm.
go into writing fiction for me at least.
Okay. Okay. So what is your method? Do you have a writing space that you do? Do you go away to write? Or do you write after you've experienced certain things? Tell us a little. Take us a little bit in the journey of how you get into your writing.
Quite honestly, it just a thought pops in my mind, and I would just spin the story in my head, and that's really what. Then I'll just go and just type. Well, I would handwrite it. I'm still kind of old
Mhm.
school, but
Okay.
that's really it's no. I really don't have a process. Quite honestly, yeah, the thought
Okay.
will pop in my head, and I'll run with it. That's really what I do. I don't have a
Yeah.
process.
So I guess your process is just free flowing, maybe. I guess that is a
Yes.
process, in and of itself. It's free flowing. It's not as structured a process as people might think,
No.
but the idea comes to you and you start writing as you feel led to write. Is
Yep.
there any pressure in that to then finish? How do you know when you're done, when you're completed your writing? How do you know when you've written enough?
Quite honestly, this is gonna sound weird, but the story, like that story, beginning, end, and beginning, middle, and end, is written in my head.
Mhm.
It's just about me putting it in the
Mm,
paper. To be honest with you.
mm, okay. And
So,
so it was in your head. How did you know that you didn't need to add any more to it? How do you come to a finality about what's going to be included in your writing?
mm, I don't know. It's just there. Like for example, I was talking with my son the other day, and he was telling me something. And from what he told me, I wrote a whole story about it. It's a short story, but I
Mhm,
wrote a whole story about it. And I
mhm.
said it out loud. I haven't written it down yet, but the story is still here. So I just have
Got
to
it.
put it in. Yeah. So once
Got
I
it.
put the paper, then I'll tweak it and clean it up. But it's here, in middle and end. So
Got it. So nothing to add because it's there. You just tweak it and clean it up. Got it. Got it. I was hoping to glean from that because that was part of my struggle. Where do I end this? I could end it in different ways because mine was more a self-help book. So it was telling some parts
mm,
of my story, but using them to kind of elevate these principles that I want people to do. And I have, of course, tons of stories. So I had to choose which stories. I said, well, shoot, that story should go and that story should stay. Or no, I need to add another story. So later on in the writing, I added a story that I hadn't intended to add, and I'm glad I put it in there. But I didn't have a process to say this is okay. This is the end. So I love it. It's almost like you have a photographic memory of what you envision to write, beginning, middle, end.
yes.
Which is a gift, I believe, from God. I'm more, I'm putting stuff in the recipe and saying, I need a little bit more of that, a little bit more of this kind of thing. So I'm excited about that. That sounds like creative genius. That is free flowing and it's
Thank you.
all in your head until you write it down. Boy, I wish. So I know this book is going to be good coming next. I know that one's going to be coming out soon, but I definitely want you to think about maybe revisiting this storyline because I think it's a great storyline. All right, so if anybody can drop in the comments, the first person that drops in the comments, so you got to put it in the comments. You can't think it like Erin is in her mind. You got to put it in writing. The first person that drops in the comment, because I only said this name once. It's one of the 3 supporting characters, and you can name either of the 2 that I named. So no, it's really 4 supporting characters, but we didn't mention one of them. But these supporting male characters, I mentioned 2 of the names. If you drop either of the names, first person to drop either of the names will HR Passion will buy your copy of the Cassanova Killer. All right, ready, set, go. So I'm going to give somebody a chance to drop one of those male character names that I mentioned. I mentioned 2, so all you got to do is drop one, and you can win that book. So if you weren't here in the beginning, you're gonna have to come to Passion Fridays on time. All right, Courtney Hodges. Should we let Courtney win? Ain't that your sister? Should we let her win?
He
Should we
is my
let Courtney win?
sister.
Okay. All
She
right.
can win,
I didn't
yes.
know, I would want my sisters and brothers to buy the book, but we're gonna let Courtney win. Okay, I mean, congratulations, Courtney. All right, very good. So, all right, so Tammy, you were late coming out of the gate with that. Courtney beat you to it. But if you think of the second name that I mentioned and drop it in there, you can get a chance to win. So I'm going to give a second chance. Courtney won the first one, which is Micah. Yes, Micah is the correct answer. Now, what's the second name I mentioned? We'll give you a chance while we're doing that. No, it's Tammy. Good guess. It's not Keith. He's not in the book. He's not in this book anyway. You might have an advanced reading on the next book, but Keith is not in this book. He's not in this book. I'll give you a few more seconds. See if anybody can guess the second male supporting character that I named. Micah was one of them. Okay, we'll give you a second and we'll give you a chance. It's not Kevin either. Kevin wasn't in there. Tammy, you got an advanced reading. Terrence is in there, but I didn't mention Terrence's name.
Tammy.
So I'll give you a few more seconds. So while Tammy is trying to guess that, Erin, tell us where can we follow you to keep up with your writings? Are you going to start publishing your short stories? Because Facebook has the opportunity for you to publish your short stories here on Facebook. And maybe you can do it as articles on LinkedIn if you decide. You can do sessions on YouTube if you decide about writing. You can also do a show on Twitch TV. So I'm just trying to talk to all of my viewers across all audiences because I don't want them to be left out.
Right.
To get people to stay connected to you as you continue on your writing journey. So tell us, how can we connect with you? On which platforms do you prefer? Email, text, whatever you prefer. Tell us how to connect with you. And it has you frozen again.
Right now, I am on the blog is called Author Erin. And let's see what else. And then I have an email, authoraaron21@gmail.com. So right now, that's what I have going right now. And it works. It's not up yet, but it'll be in the works, but it'll be linked to my page.
Okay, so I want to just make sure. Let's see. Let's see. Make sure that I'm putting in the comments, and I'll make sure that my YouTube folks can see it. Let's see. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see if we can pull it up. All right. I'm going to put this link there for people to purchase. We have one
Okay.
winner. All right. Okay. It should be showing across platforms. Let's just make sure that it does populate. So I want to make sure everybody gets it. All right, there it is. I see it on Love and Stuff. That is the link. Okay. LinkedIn folks, let me know if you're seeing it on LinkedIn. I don't yet see it on. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that we have it on every platform because we want people to click and buy. Click and buy today. Support this
Yes.
new author along her journey, and she's already started writing the second book. And we want her to be able to get more exposure on Amazon. And by you buying it and writing reviews gives Erin more exposure so that when people click to see and they see 5 stars and they see written reviews, they're more likely to purchase the book. So let's do that. Let's make her number one in the short reads, murder mysteries, which I think is an excellent category. And her book will rate well with all of the other books. It's a great whodunit. It's great character development, and it could be the first one in a series. And
I
we love a good series. So get the
I would
book
definitely
now.
consider it.
Get the book now, and then maybe you'll turn the TV on and say, "That's Erin's book. That's now on Tyler Perry's next show." You never know. And so let's raise the awareness of this great short read, but good read. It's a good whodunit. Erin, is there anything else you want to tell us about the book? I'm so excited that you came on to join us today. I'm so glad. I think we're going to see the best of you in 2022. That's my hope for you. And what will you tell us about this book or anything you want us to know in parting words?
Get the book. It's a good book. It is a key. It will have you guessing from beginning to end. Um, and when you get it and read it, and enjoy it, leave a review on Amazon saying that you enjoyed it. Tell your friends, spread the word. Just let people know that your book. That's it.
Yes. And again, it's available on Amazon. And where again can we follow you? Just want to clear that up. Where can we follow you?
Right on Facebook, Author Erin, AuthorErin, Ooh, can't talk today. I have a blog which is connected to my Facebook page. Um, Basically, everyday life and how it ties into the book as well. So, give you a little background on that, and you can email me at AuthorErin21@gmail.
All right. And as we close, and again, thank you, Erin Hodges, for joining us, and much success to you on this book. Can you just look into the camera again and talk to the people? Because you said something earlier among many things that resonated, Erin, but you said, I've always dreamed to be a writer. It was one of my dreams, so I accomplished it. What will you say to that man or that woman who hasn't met the intersection of their passion and their purpose? They haven't accomplished that dream. Maybe like you at some point, they put the book on the shelf or the dream on the shelf, the idea, the business venture, going back to school to get their master's or doctorate or finish college. What would you say to him or her about achieving that goal, that dream, living in the center of their passion on purpose?
I would say just do it. You don't want to live your life with regrets or be at the end of your life think, oh, I should have did this. Just do it, and wherever it goes, it goes. Because oftentimes we wait for the right. Sometimes it's not necessarily a right time. So just do it. Just go for it, and just pray on it. Pray on it. That's to do it and pray on it. That's what I would say.
Okay, go for it, pray on it, do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Erin, so much for joining us. We're so excited that you were here for us, and we are going to share your information. Now, Tammy comes up with the name. I
All
don't know if we're going to let you win at this point. I don't know. I
right.
think
Thank you for having me on, Marcus. I really appreciate it. Thank you. This was my
I am
first
so
interview.
excited
Thank you.
for you. And please come back, and we're going to have you back when you write the next book. Hopefully, the next book that you're writing won't prevent you from giving us a sequel to this book. But whichever you
Okay.
write, I'm sure we will enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
That was Erin Hodges, and we are getting ready to get out of here. We got 3 minutes left. Tammy, we're going to make sure that you won. Okay, we're going to get you the book. We're going to make sure you have it too. All right. Uh, Congratulations, Courtney Hodges and Tammy Williams, for winning a book. Inbox us at LinkedIn or at the Love and Stuff community page, just so that we'll have your information so that we can send the ebook to you. Our courtesy of HR Passion LLC, all we ask you to do is share the content. Someone needs to open a book to open their world, and someone needs to open their heart to receive everything that they have um, coming from them. And someone needs to open their mind and put fear behind them, like Erin Hodges did, and put out that book, put out that movie, put out that music, put out that business, put out that product that's going to revolutionize your industry or change the world. Go for it, pray about it, and do it, as Erin says. Live in the center of your passion on purpose and be the very best you in 2022. Erin says there's still some fear. Will they like it? Will they accept it? But it's out here now. And I think that is sage advice for you and me. There might be people who love your ideal and product, and there might be people who won't use it. Spend your time, efforts, and energy deepening the relationships with the people who do like what you have to offer, because there are many of them. Many of them are willing to be in your tribe. And don't just let it sit on the shelf. Don't let it just collect dust. Let it move forward through you, flow through you, catapult to your destiny, to the fulfillment of your dreams. Because you don't want, as Erin said, to live with the regret. What if I had tried? Now is the time for you to try. Give it the best shot that you can. Make it a great novel like Erin did. Make it a great song. Make it a great product or service. Give it your best and watch how you freely live in the center of your passion on purpose. I'm Marcus Holmes. You can go to any of these platforms to watch the replay. Click share and tag someone who you know needs to live in the center of their passion on purpose. And may this inspire you to do exactly the same. I'm Marcus Holmes, the HR Passion Guy. We'll see you next week. And Happy New Year, by the way. Have a grateful week and weekend.